Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, the wait is over. It's finally here. EDC Las Vegas lineup has finally dropped, and oh my god, there's so many back-to-backs. There's just so many crazy sets. Let's get straight into it. We got a lot to talk about. We got 3 days worth of music, so without further ado, let's get straight into this video. So, as you can see, we have the lineup right here. It looks beautiful. Today I'm going to be talking about kind of my recommendations, what I'm super excited to see, my plans as where I'm probably going to have, like, you know, those non-negotiable sets that you just can't miss. I'm going to talk about it all, talk about how I feel about EDC. This is going to be my 3rd EDC, and it's going to be my 2nd camp EDC. We're camping this year with the Rave fam, so it's going to be super fun. I'm super excited to start talking about this, and we have been waiting for this lineup forever. So without further ado, let's get straight into the lineup. All right, starting obviously with day 1. I want to say something first. I'm not going to go one by one with all these artists like I usually would with other festivals, because this is a 3-day festival. It's EDC. There are just so many artists. It would be an hour-long video if I did that. So we're just going to do my recommendations, what I'm super excited to see, and like I said before, the ones that I feel like I can't miss. But obviously, as usual, if I did miss anything that you guys are absolutely on the same page where you're like, man, I cannot miss this, it's the same type of vibe, let me know. I will definitely check them out. I love listening to new music. Or obviously there are some names on here that are known but I just didn't highlight, so let me know what you guys are excited to see down in the comments below. I always love reading comments. So all right, day 1, we are starting off for me with Barely Alive. Obviously this has been somehow mainly a dubstep channel, but I love it all. House, techno, hardstyle. It's all a vibe to me. But mainly this has been a dubstep channel. If you watch any of my videos, we've seen Barely Alive several times. He's an amazing artist. Obviously doing a little bit of dubstep, rhythm, some bouncy dubstep. It's a great time, great vibes. Moving on to the first back-to-back, and there are going to be a lot of crazy back-to-backs. So this is just the start. We got Biscuits back-to-back, Martin Akeen. I don't know which one it is. I know he's super established in the game, been doing it for like, I feel like 20 or 30 years now. And both of them, house, tech house, it's gonna be crazy. That's gonna be a good time. And yeah, nothing else to say about that. We love house over here. Following that, we have 2 more great house acts, actually 3 or 4 more. We have all following back-to-back. We have Blue Claire, Born Dirty, Disco Lines, Duke Dumont. All those, if you don't know, you should definitely check them out. Duke Dumont's been doing it forever. Same with Disco Lines, Blue Claire. I mean, Disco Lines is now, I feel like, starting to come up on like the mainstream a little more, but they've definitely been doing it for a while. And all of them, same kind of vibes. Tech house, Blue Claire's a little bit more bass house kind of vibe. And yeah, all gonna be super fun. Moving on, we have Eli Brown, who I actually haven't gotten to see yet. Oh wait, I'm sorry. We skipped Disco Dom. I'm sorry. It was highlighted in red and I almost skipped past it. If you guys don't know, Disco Dom is actually Dom Bresky's alter ego kind of thing. Does a little bit of a different set, a little more like disco, funky house kind of vibes. Definitely check that out, and that's a reason why I have it highlighted red. I haven't seen it like his set actually as Disco Dom before. I've just seen little clips on Twitter and heard good things, so definitely want to check that out for sure. Now we're jumping back to where we were before. Excuse me, sorry about that. We have Eli Brown. Like I said, I haven't seen Eli Brown live before, which I'm actually kind of sad about, because I was at Electric Forest. I'm pretty sure he was playing, and so many people recommended him to me, and I just got lost. I don't remember what happened. I'm going to be honest. When you go to Electric Forest, you just get lost. But that's for another video to talk about. Moving on, I meant to say too, he's also kind of a little bit of techno, tech house vibes. Super good time. Moving on to some bass. We're finally getting into the bass. It was a lot of house. We have Eliminate, who does a little bit of everything in the bass, like does some bass house, but mainly a lot of good dubstep. And Eptic, same thing, just some great dubstep, a little bit of like a trappy dubstep kind of vibe. And then moving back to some house, we have Fisher. I don't know, as you can see, he's highlighted in the blue because he has a back-to-back with Loco Dice later, and that's for sure going to be highlighted in red for me. So I don't know if I'm obviously going to see Fisher twice. There's a lot of artists that play several days or several sets, so I'm not sure what the plan is for that, but Fisher's an amazing tech house set. Can never go wrong with it. Moving on, Funk Case. OG dubstep head in the game. I mean, you always love his sets. I honestly prefer some of his throwback sets sometimes, but he still throws down some filth. Moving on, we have Galantis. I personally probably won't be pulling up to this set, but it's just really nice to see them on this lineup, and it's just some great progressive house. It's just that festival music. When you hear, like, when you used to like watch like old Instagram videos back when you were a kid or something, and you would just see festivals, that would be like the kind of music that was playing. So that's just for the kind of nostalgic kind of vibes. But now we go on to Grizz, and oh my god, I've been waiting to see Grizz for so long. I've seen him once before, but it was at Hard Summer. It was a super good time. We were in VIP, but there were so many other opportunities at Electric Forest and so many other times where like I didn't get to go to the festival, but he was on the lineup. I love Grizz's music, literally every kind of subgenre that he dives into, because he's all over the place. He literally does dubstep, experimental, like dubstep, electro funk, like I don't even know how to explain it, like future funk, but you could really categorize him in a lot of kind of ways, and he's just so diverse, and I love Grizz. So that's obviously another one highlighted in red. Moving on to another one highlighted in red, we have Hugel, and if you don't know who Hugel is, he's on the come up right now for sure. Does kind of tech house, Latin tech house, and man, that is some shaking ass music right there if I've ever heard it. So definitely check him out if you haven't heard him. Now we have James Hype, and James Hype plays I think 3 or 4 sets at EDC this year. I'm not sure, I didn't highlight him in red. I absolutely love James Hype. He's one of the most skilled DJs I've seen, especially how he just DJs live, uses all 4 decks. He goes ham. So I'm not sure if I'll see him. If he's conflicting with other people, of course I'm gonna have to make sacrifices, but if I have free time, I'm definitely gonna check out one of these James Hype sets throughout the weekend. Following up James Hype, we have Kaivon, and Kaivon is like a little bit of a, it depends on the vibe for me. I love him so much. He does some melodic dubstep. I've even seen some of his some progressive house songs, and it's a super good time. I saw him at Bass Canyon, had a fantastic time, but I just feel like it's a certain vibe I need to be having. I don't want to, pull up if I'm feeling like breaking my neck or shaking my ass, because it's more of just a kind of chill, laid back vibe, which I would love if it was like super early in the morning for EDC, like 4 in the morning when you're just kind of like getting towards the end of the night, sun's coming up, or earlier in the day. He's like, I feel like those are just like those kind of sets that you need some sunlight to. Moving on, that sounded like the weirdest, like, I don't know, I feel like that's just a weird stance. Like, it just doesn't make sense, but it makes sense in my brain. Moving on, we have Killscript, a fantastic techno set. Never seen him before, would love to. I've been honestly getting into a lot of techno lately. Ever since I started DJing, I've been just starting to love the techno. So I've been starting to, dabble in here and there, see who the good artists are, and yeah, I definitely want to check out Killscript. All right, we already talked about Loco Dice, back-to-back Fisher. Fisher is an amazing DJ. Loco Dice is a fantastic DJ as well. Put them together, it's literally a chef's kiss. So I can't say anything better than that. It's going to be some tech house. It's going to be a great time. Now, following up, we have Matroda. And honestly, I would highlight Matroda red, but there are just so many house acts that I'm just looking at here on day one that I just don't know if I could commit to being like, all right, Matroda's another one where I can't miss it. But I've seen him several times, and he's fantastic. I have so much of his music saved. It's unreal. Following up Matroda, we have Nostalgics and Odd Mob. Nostalgics is a little bit of bass house. She honestly is very solid. I think I saw a Wednesday back-to-back Nostalgics at last EDC, and man, that crowd wasn't that big because it was right when doors opened, but man, if they had like a better time slot, they for sure would have been having a popping crowd. People would have been walking by and been like, oh, what the fuck is that? So if you like bass house, definitely check out Nostalgics. I know Wednesday is not on this lineup, but definitely check out Wednesday as well. Both great female bass house DJs, so we gotta, represent. Following up, like I said, Odd Mob. If you don't know who Odd Mob is, he's that one song, Left to Right, left, right, go left, right. I fucking probably just butchered that and it sounded so cringy. But you know the song. He's honestly a super good time. Some house music can never go wrong. Moving on, we have Pauline Her or Hair. I don't know. I've always mispronounced her name. We'll figure it out one day. I still haven't seen her live yet before, but I've heard so many great things. It's definitely that kind of melodic dubstep kind of vibe. So, like I said, with Kaivon, it's just something I need to be in the mood for. Same with the next DJ we're going to talk about, which is Reaper, who's some drum and bass. Honestly, I'm not the hugest fan of drum and bass. I saw him at Lost Lands towards the end of the night. He was at one of the afters, like sound stages, and I had a good time. It was definitely chill, but it's not something that, you know, is always like, oh, I need some drum and bass in my life. So he's highlighted because he's an amazing act, and as for, you know, someone that doesn't listen to drum and bass, I like his drum and bass. So if I hear him, if I have extra time while I'm just wandering around, I'll definitely stop by. Now, this back-to-back, I'm a little questionable about, because I feel like there's another back-to-back that they could have just switched it with. It's still going to be a great set, don't get me wrong, but Riot 10 back-to-back Jessica Otterfried, I feel like their sounds just are a little different. I will talk about it a little bit later, but Sunday is Borgore back-to-back Level Up. I personally have seen Level Up back-to-back Jessica Otterfried before, and they have a lot of similar sounds. It's a really good fucking set. And I feel like Riot 10 back-to-back Borgore might have been a little more, you know, complementary to each other's sound. I'm not trying to, you know, diss anybody or anything. I think all four of them are amazing bass artists. I've seen them all several times. I love their music. But I just feel like that back-to-back, if they had just switched the two, man, that shit would have been crazy. But it is what it is. Still going to probably be there at the end of the day. Following up that back-to-back, we have Said the Sky, which is same vibe as Pauline Her Hair, or Kaivon. It's just that melodic dubstep. Super good time, same Millennium kind of vibes. And I probably won't be there, but if I ever, you know, am in the mood and just need some time to chill, calm down after breaking my neck and shuffling for hours straight, I'll definitely pull up to one of these sets for sure, because that's what you need, just a little quick decompress and get back into it. Following up, we have Sanpacho or Sanpacho. I don't know. Again, I butcher so many names every time, so forgive me if you're ever watching this video. But I would say he's mainly tech house, but he does some house music too, and it's a great time. I love his remixes. I have a bunch of his remixes on my DJ library. Now, following up, we haven't seen Side Piece in a while, since October in Escape, so I definitely needed to highlight them red because I just love Side Piece so much. Definitely one of my favorite tech house sets, tech house duos. They're fantastic. So Side Piece is highlighted in red. You'll probably see me there. Now, we have Sullivan King back-to-back Kaiwachi, another fantastic bass set. It is one that I've seen so many times, so unfortunately, if something else is conflicting with it, I'm gonna have to sacrifice it because I've just seen it enough. And there are so many back-to-backs on here. For example, like if Loco Dice back-to-back Fisher happened during that back-to-back, I've never seen that back-to-back before, so, you know, I would kind of want to see something new. And moving on, we have this back-to-back, and this back-to-back right here, I'm sorry, what are you doing? Stop it. My dog is just, I'm sorry, my dog wilding out. What are you doing? What are you doing? All right, so this next back-to-back is one of my most anticipated ones for the entire weekend. Wax Motif back-to-back Mala. Like, what? Like, oh my God, those are two of my favorite house acts, and they're now doing a back-to-back. Like, that is just too perfect. So that's my perfect example. If something like Sullivan King back-to-back Kaiwachi and Wax Motif back-to-back Mala are conflicting, I'm going to Wax and Mala. I've never seen it, and I've seen Sullivan King back-to-back Kaiwachi probably 3 or 4 times. So that's something where it's like, man, I hate it so much. It's the worst part about EDC is making those sacrifices, but you got to do it. All right, that is the end of day 1. I feel like we sped through it, but I feel like it also took a while. Let's move straight into day 2. Let's go. All right, moving on to day 2, we have A-Craze, fantastic house, tech house act. Can never go wrong. If you don't know, he's the one who did that Do It To It, the original one where it's just, you know, the one that blew up all over the place. So definitely a great tech house / house act. Gotta go check him out. Moving on, Boris Brecha, I don't know, Boris. Everyone calls him Boris. Techno, great times. Never seen him before. I always listen to his techno set at, I think, Circle or something like that on YouTube, just in the background. Super good set. Definitely want to check him out. He wasn't in red, but he was very close. He almost made it to red. Following that, we have Chris Lake. Same thing, good house. Well, there's a lot of house that I had highlighted this weekend. I was looking at it and I was like, damn, I got more house highlighted than bass this year. It's a little dangerous. I mean, I know I go to Lost Lands and Bass Canyon and Thunderdome for the bass, but man, EDC's hitting me with the house this year, and I'm liking it. Following Chris Lake, we have CID or Sid. I'm pretty sure it's Sid. Back-to-back Sage Armstrong. Another fantastic house back-to-back. Like, you can't go wrong. These are just so many. All the back-to-backs are just hitting. Again, like I said, all the back-to-backs are hitting. Excision back-to-back Dion Timmer. We saw Excision and Dion Timmer at Thunderdome. Obviously, they didn't go back-to-back. But I am super... actually, did they on the third day? No. That was Excision back-to-back Liquid Strain. No. I don't know. They did something on day 3 at Thunderdome. I forgot. But Excision back-to-back Dion Timmer I have not seen in a while. And so I'm actually super excited, if nothing's conflicting with that, to see that. But there always are going to be some conflicting sets. I did skip over something real quick. Excuse me. I'm going to jump back. We are jumping back to the Ds. We love double Ds. Dom Dalla and Dom Bresky. Amazing house acts. It's not a back-to-back. It's just them individually. I know I just said that like it was together. But amazing house, tech house, good times. I haven't seen Dom Bresky in a while. So I saw Noizu back-to-back Dom Bresky in LA like months back. So can't wait to see him again. Same with Dom Dalla. My girl is so excited to see Dom Dalla for the first time. It's going to be a good time. Moving on, we have Abstract. Super good fucking act. We just saw, actually maybe 2 days ago, we just saw Joyride back-to-back Abstract for his release party. And man, that bass house was hitting. Man, that was just a crazy set. You guys will see that vlog coming up in the following days after this video. But that was a great time. I can't imagine how good it's going to be at EDC. Following up, we have Hades. Honestly, one of like the only mid-tempo bass acts that I know of in the EDC lineup. You know, obviously I don't know everyone, but you know, they don't have Rez this year, and they don't have, you know, like Spock or anything like that where it is some mid-tempo bass. So I do want to check out Hades for sure. I don't know if other things will conflict. If I have free time, I definitely want to check him out. Moving on, we have James Hype again. Obviously, we talked about him on Friday. He is on this lineup 3 times. So like I said, I'll definitely try and find some time. Following up James Hype, we have Jester. It's Jester. It is not Just Junior. It's not JST, JR, whatever you want to call it. It's Jester. Just so y'all know, just so y'all come correct, if he comes to you at EDC and does the trivia and is like, yo, can you name 3 DJs that start with the letter J? You better say Jester, because that's going to be him. Put you on game. Moving on. We have Cascade, and I probably won't go see Cascade. I honestly have never seen him before, but you know, that melodic house just is a little too slow for me. But I know he's a fantastic producer and DJ, and you can never knock that. I just would prefer seeing KX5. I haven't seen that before either, so if I were to ever see Cascade, it would be KX5 for sure. Following up, we have K Tronada, another person who I haven't seen live before, and I really want to. I've been listening to K Tronada since like 2013, and man, I mean, hip-hop, R&B, you can even call it like some deep house vibes, but it's just, he is talented. If you haven't checked him out, for sure check him out. Following up, we have Mal P, which is the guy that made the Drugs from Amsterdam song. If you don't know, he actually is... This is a new DJ surname. He used to be Maurice West, has been doing it for years, actually been super established in the game and got a fantastic discography. Words. But yeah, super good house act. Definitely check him out. House, tech house, you know, kind of like some G house. No, not G house. I don't really know what G house even is, but I feel like, you know, it's there. I just need to figure out what it is. Like, that subgenres of house really be getting all mishmash. But moving on, we don't want to take too long here. We have Macaque. I know it's Macaque, but we call him Macaque because you got to go see Macaque. And man, I haven't seen him since Electric Forest, and I'm so excited. That is definitely one that's highlighted red. I love Macaque. Some good tech house, but also throws in some techno in there. Also some Latin house. Perfect. We love Macaque. Following up, we have Ray Volpe. First time Ray Volpe's playing EDC. Congrats, my guy. If you are watching this, shouts out. Man, I'm super excited to see that. I hope nothing conflicts with it. It worries me, just all the house acts and bass acts on this night. I feel like something's going to conflict, and it gives me some anxiety. I've been having anxiety ever since I've even fucking seen this lineup. But Definitely recommend checking out Ray Volpe if you haven't. Obviously, amazing dubstep producer. Does some not experimental, melodic dubstep as well. Definitely a good time. Would recommend checking him out. Moving on, we have Space Laces, another fantastic bass act. Dubstep, bass house. He is very diverse in his sets. You'll get a little bit of everything. So if you haven't seen a Space Laces set before, I 100% recommend it. I have seen him recently about like 3 or 4 times. So if something else is playing, I'll probably check something else out. And I just skipped over something again. I know someone's probably already roasted me in the comments, being like, you skipped this. I'm sorry. There's Noizu as well. And he's highlighted in red. It's just hard to see the ones highlighted in red. But it's Noizu, amazing house. Can't go wrong. It's highlighted in red for a reason. I definitely need to see that. All right. Now we got past that. We're going to jump all the way back to, obviously, you know, my favorite DJ. I record all of his sets all the time. We got Subtronics highlighted in red, of course. Can't miss it. Obviously, there are plenty of good sets here. But, man, if Subtronics is playing, I don't think I'm going to be missing anything else. So, Subtronics for sure will be there. Can't wait. Following that, we have Sullivan King. I don't know what the plan is, if I'm going to see Sullivan King or if I'm going to be seeing Sullivan King back-to-back Kaiwachi. That's why I have him highlighted in the blue. We'll see. He's still a little bit up in the air. Following up Sullivan King, though, we have Sudden Death doing his Into the Inferno set, which I actually haven't seen. I've seen his Void set. I've seen a regular Sudden Death set. I haven't seen the Into the Inferno set. So I definitely need to check that out, hence why he is highlighted in red. Now we have Tiesto. I highlighted him in blue because he's he's a super OG nostalgic artist. I wish he would do a Tiesto throwback set one time because, oh my god, I'd be there. That would be highlighted in red 3 times. But, you know, his new music and his new sets are a little bit iffy to me. I might check him out. We'll see. You never know what happens at EDC. I wander a lot. Following up Tiesto, we have Valentino Khan, who, oh man, I'm sniffly. I'm sick. I'm sorry. So you're going to have to, I feel like I've just been sniffly this whole time. So, Valentino Khan, bass house, super good time. I'm sad I missed Valentino Khan back-to-back Dioro at Hard Summer, oh no, at Escape, because something was happening. I don't know what, man, but something was happening. I didn't want to miss it. We stayed for that instead. BTSM. That's what it was. We had to go to church. And now we're finishing up this lineup. We have West End. And if you guys don't know West End, he's definitely a great house, tech house act. I haven't seen him before, actually, but I've listened to his music over and over again. And man, definitely a good time. For sure recommend him. Following up West End, we have Wooly. And man, I feel like I haven't seen Wooly at EDC before. Like, I've seen him at several other venues and shows, but I don't think I've seen him at EDC. So that's actually going to be super fun. I'm excited for that. And to end off Saturday, we have Zed's Dead, back-to-back Chasing Status. So Chasing Status is a lot more drum and bass. So this will most likely be kind of a Zed's Dead drum and bass kind of act vibe. I'm definitely interested to check that out. I always love seeing DJs switch some shit up. So that'll be super cool to see. All right, that'll do it for day 2. Let's move straight into day 3. All right, this is where stuff gets a little rough for me. There's a lot of conflicts, and it gets crazy. So I'm gonna buy an Oreo. And let's get into it. We got A-Craze, back-to-back Noizu. Insane house act. I will most likely see this set over the normal Noizu set and over the normal A-Craze set, because why wouldn't you want to see them back-to-back as opposed to one-on-one? Some people don't like back-to-backs. I love them, so, you know, that's just your opinion. It is what it is. I would love to see that back-to-back. It would be crazy. Following up, we have BTSM. Just talked about them a couple seconds ago. Super good bass act. Techno, bass house, dubstep. They're one of those acts that are just diverse. You'll get it all. It's crazy. They have so many good songs, so many good collabs with so many people. They're all over the place in their set, but they make it sound good together, which is what's crazy. Following up BTSM, we have Boogie T. And man, if you don't know Boogie T and you like some wubs, you're definitely missing out. You got to check out Boogie T. Some experimental dubstep, I think, would be like the proper category. I call it wubs music. Definitely a good time. Has so many songs with Subtronics, so I love them. Couldn't miss out. Following up, we have Borgor, back-to-back Level Up. Like I said, we talked about this on the day 1 lineup part already, where I feel like if Borgor and Riot 10 switched and Jessica and Level Up switched and they played a little girl power set, and they did Riot 10 back-to-back Borgor, I feel like I would have been a lot more inclined to see it. But out of the two, I'm a little more excited to see Borgor back-to-back Level Up, because I love those DJs just a touch more, and man, I think that shit's gonna be crazy still too. So I'm super excited for that. Moving on, we have been talking so much I'm starting to slur. Chris Lorenzo and Sid. We already talked about Sid or CID. Great house. He's gonna do that back-to-back with Sage Armstrong. So gonna check him out most likely for that back-to-back as opposed to solo by himself. You know my stance on back-to-backs. And Chris Lorenzo, same vibe, house, tech house, super good time, can't complain. All right, moving on, we have Dioro, who I still have never seen before. I've listened to all of his music for 10 plus years now. He's some good Latin house, some house. I wouldn't know. I feel like there's another genre you can categorize him as other than that. He has a lot of diversity, so I'd recommend checking him out if you're into some of that Latin music. Following up, we have Dirt Monkey. This is kind of like, you can see it's a little bit of a Wubsy day. They have Boogie T and Dirt Monkey, and something we'll talk about a little later. So, super good time. I like when they do a back-to-back Boogie T, back-to-back Dirt Monkey, because then it's just, man, they just mesh together really well. I wish that could have been another back-to-back we would have gotten to see, but they do that a lot. So I guess, they got to go solo sometimes. Now we have Dom Bresky. For the third day, we have a Disco Dom, a Dom Bresky, and another Dom Bresky set. So he's highlighted in red. I don't know what the plan is, though. I'm definitely going to see him at least once, most likely for Disco Dom on day one, because I haven't seen that set before. So that's that. We already talked about him. Great house. Can't complain. Moving on, we have Excision. And I know I'm probably going to get some hate for not putting Excision in red, but I've seen him just like 10 times this year. So if something else is on, I just have to switch it up, man. But obviously, if nothing conflicts with Excision, we're going to see Excision. That's a no-brainer. But moving on right here, this is exactly why I'm so worried about Sunday. Grizz fucking Tronics. And man, if you follow me on Twitter, I tweet about this all the time. Like, I tweet at them all the fucking time. Like, when are we gonna get a Grizz Tronics set? And they haven't done it in so long, and it was like a little fucking secret set. I remember they did one in the club one time in like fucking 2019. Oh my god, I was so sad. So, I'm so excited for that. Grizz fucking Tronics. Like, oh, it's gonna be crazy. I just hope nothing conflicts with it, and that's why I'm so worried about Sunday, because there's definitely gonna be at least one artist that conflicts with it, and we'll talk about what I'm a little worried about a little later on. But moving on, we have Hole. Fantastic rhythm. I hope that nothing conflicts. I put him in blue because I've seen him quite a few times recently, but I really do want to see him again. If nothing conflicts, I will definitely be there. Following up, we have 3 great house acts, all names. Starting with Jay, we got Jay Wara, James Hype, and Joshua. All fantastic. Like I said, James Hype's on this lineup 3 times. Jay Wara and Joshua are definitely very similar, same as James Hype. A lot of house, a lot of tech house, super good music. Moving on, we have Lane 8, and I am super excited. I really hope this is like the same vibe as I was saying for like Kaivon and Paulina. I want like a sunrise set, a sunset set, a daytime set for Lane 8. I don't want it to be at like 11 o'clock at night when in the middle of everyone partying hard. I definitely want that to be a nice, super chill time, and I would love to see it. So I really hope they do the set times properly and put them in a good time spot early on. But they're a headline type of fucking name, so sometimes they're in later time slots. It is what it is. Fingers crossed. Moving on, we have Marshmello back-to-back Sudden Death, and honestly, I wasn't thinking too much of this back-to-back until I saw Sudden Death's post about it, where they were sitting in those thrones and getting, eaten up by like what was like Venom, kind of like in Spider-Man. That looked crazy, and that gives me the feeling that it's going to be more violent and just deadly Sudden Death vibes. I don't want any Marshmello like, bouncy dubstep pop vibes. I want that fucking violence. So I hope that shit goes crazy. Those mosh pits, if it gets violent in there, oh, that will be cracking. So I'm definitely going to be there if that's the case. Following up, we have Midnight Tea, little bit of rhythm, little bit of dubstep. No complaints. I don't know. I've seen him before, and I'm not going to speak anything on the subject, but People, you know, if you know, you know. So I'm not going to say anything. Following up, we have Peekaboo. Amazing. No problems with him. All good there. Some experimental dubstep. Like I said, I feel like Sunday's more of the Wubsy day. More of kind of like a good fucking vibe for that shit. Have Grizztronics, Boogie T, Dirt Monkey. It's definitely going to be just some good wubs. Moving on, we have Say My Name. And this is like the only really trap hardstyle set that I have highlighted. I honestly have been getting into hardstyle. I just don't have any highlighted. Obviously, DJ Anime, DJ Isaac, super great acts. I was looking up just kind of what was like what were some of the names that caught my eye. Cooney on Saturday, some hardstyle. He was actually amazing. Listen to it. Same with Code Black on Sunday, another amazing hardstyle act. I listened to all of them and was very, very impressed. So I might not be there. Goddamn. I might not be there. But I've been starting to get into hardstyle. I've been starting to dabble, and who knows? I might change my mind and pull up to one of those hardstyle sets with my friends because they all love hardstyle. All right, following up, Say My Name, we have Shipwreck, and I still have not seen Shipwreck live before. They're amazing. They do house, tech house, bass house, and I need to see them. They're highlighted red. I hope they don't conflict with anyone. Fingers crossed. Following up that, we have Slander twice. We're going to talk about, we have a regular Slander set that is highlighted in blue. I would go see Slander twice because it's my girlfriend's favorite artist. But if something conflicts, we got to make some things work. But I 100% want to see the Slander Before Dawn set. That's going to be a techno set. And man, I need to see that. That Slander techno set is going to be crazy. I need that. So I pray. And me and my girlfriend have just been praying ever since we saw it. Please, God, do not give us a Grizztronics and Slander Before Dawn clash. Please. Because if that clashes, that's going to be a tough one. Because I'm going to be at Grizztronics and she's going to be a Slander. So it's going to be like I'll see you later, babe. Good luck. Like I said, hope that doesn't happen. Moving on. We have Chami back-to-back AC Slater. Another fantastic back-to-back. And another one that I have never seen before. So it's something where it's just like, you got to highlight that in red because it's one of the rare back-to-backs. It's two of my favorite house artists. I need to check it out. So they're highlighted in red. And to finish it off, we have Wax Motif, also highlighted in red. But we most likely won't see him on Sunday because we are most likely going to see him on Friday doing that back-to-back with Mala. So we'll see about that. We'll see when all the set times come out. I'm going to post another video when the set times come out to let you know where I'm going to be, all the conflicts, how I feel, all that good stuff. So I don't want to keep this video longer than it already is. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. I really hope to get to see you guys at EDC. Let me know what you guys think of the lineup. If you have any recommendations for me, if there's anyone you're excited to see. All that good stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching this one, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out, y'all.